Hey guys, Barcode Pairs, and guess what? I have a thing which allows me to record my screen. So this is good for me, because now I can get more content, and it also means that I can show deck profiles that haven't even come out yet. So I hope this will, give me more of an ability to help you guys out. But either way, this one will be a deck profile. This is going to be a deck profile on a deck that I have actually been using for a long time. I've wanted to show this deck profile for a while, and I was mainly waiting for the cards to come out in the new Hidden Arsenal pack because I live in England, so yeah. But I will start off. It is Evilswarm, guys, and it is awesome. This deck has proven itself, for me anyway, to be very good. This is a build which I'm quite comfortable with at the moment, and I think it's very standard, to be honest. The build that I've made it's a very standard build. There isn't much of a side deck, but then again, I don't really show side decks because there's not really much point, because I always change my side decks, as I've told you guys in the past. But I want to make a shout out, but I can't remember his tag, so I'll do it in the next video. So, either way, without further ado, I shall continue with the profile. Okay, first off we have Free Castor. This guy is obviously the main card in the deck. He allows you just to go to Ophion in one turn, stuff like that. It just gives you plays. Evilswarm Kirikion. I don't know how to pronounce that guy, so sorry for my poor pronunciation. This guy I love. I love drawing him late game because it means half the time I will have probably Ophion and Dulker out. My opponent will probably want to storm me out with a Spirit Reaper, something like that. And the main play I use him for is Bahamut, because it just means I have a target in my hand. And he's pretty good. He offers so many plays for the decks, and it's just awesome. We have now also got free Evilswarm Mandragora. This card is awesome. It's pretty much just Cyber Dragon, and yeah, it gives plays. Evilswarm Thunderbird, it's pretty much a wind-up rabbit, but not as good. Evilswarm Thunderbird, you can use the effect to banish itself if your opponent activates a spell, trap, or effect monster's effect. So it works, and he also gets 300 attack when he comes back. But for those who don't know, when he leaves the field, his attack does not stay at 1950. I see a couple of people making that mistake, thinking that it keeps bonusing it. No, once it leaves the field, it gets its original attack back. Then we got the staple lineup. We got 2 Rescue Rabbit. This just gives us our plays for Dolka, Ophion, things like that. So it's very standard for the deck. And then we got our Vanillas. We got the Evilswarm Vanillas, and then we got Sabersaurus for Dolka. You may notice I'm not running Largia, to be honest, in this deck. I don't feel that it needs to run the Largia. We've got a lot of protection. We've got a lot of things that can just help us out. Finally, we also have 2 Tour Guides. Tour Guides, just mainly, get your rabbits back. I don't really use it for that, but it still works. Zemains, mainly Giga Brilliant is the play I usually do with it. And finally, for the monsters, we have 2 Effect Veilers. These cards, I think it's just for those instances if you're going up against Rabbit, wind-ups, things like that. It's just, if your opponent can get an advantage on you, just stop it with Veiler. And Veiler's very useful. Now, we run 1 Rota. Rota is a very good tech in the deck because it means you can just get a caster on your first turn, or you just bring caster to hand. That's the only play it has. We have 2 Forbidden Lance, Ophion and Dolka. They're not the strongest monsters. There are bigger beat sticks out there that can hammer over them. Even when your opponent is not using high level monsters, they just exceed and they can beat over it. So Lance works for that factor. We've also got Pot of Avarice just to put our vanillas back into the deck so we can reuse them with Rabbit. Now this is the main spell that I think you should always run. Infestation Pandemic Infection. It's so stupid. This card is ridiculous. I've got game off this so many times. You attack D-Prism? No, activate that. It just stops it. Even Bottomless gets rid of the Bottomless. So it's awesome. Now we've got the staple lineup. We've got Dark Hole, Heavy Storm, 2 MST, and a Monster Reborn. You should really run those in every deck. I think everyone knows that now. We've got the Solemn Brigade. I like to use these. I mean, I'm not even bothered that I'm wasting so many life points. It's just, as much as I've got mainly problems it mainly takes care of problems that aren't even on the field. but I feel that there's a balance in the deck for that because I'm running 2 Compulse as well. Compulse is like, it's God. I love Compulse. It's just a God card. I love it so much. We have 2 D Prisms, and finally Starlight Road. I'm not exactly hot on Starlight Road, but it's just a Heavy Storm or a Dark Hole can kind of, I guess, screw up the deck. Mainly a Heavy Storm, so it's just good to get the extra beat in with Stardust. But either way, I'll mention the 2 side cards I actually have put here, mainly Defissures. Defissure I think is an essential side card in this deck because it's a rabbit format, so you can main deck it. I wouldn't run Macrocosmos because then it kind of screws over this guy, because I want to make sure I've always got targets in the grave to add to my hand, because then I can just go Bahamut. But now I'll move on to the extra deck. Now we have the 3 staple XYZs, which is Evilswarm Ophion. Everyone loves Evilswarm Ophion in this deck. This is the main card you're aiming to get out, and it's stupid to get out. This deck isn't exactly fast, but it makes up for it with the amount of protection, and you know, we can just stop our opponent from doing things. With Ophion, you can't get Gauze, you can't get Lava Golem, they can't get Tragodia, they can't summon anything of their beat stick monsters. I mean, yeah, Grapha gets around it because it pops with an effect, but that is why we have 2 Evilsword Dolka. Now, Dolka, if you have Dolka and Ophion on the field, you can kind of just say game, because this with that is boss, in my opinion. Especially if you have a Giga Brilliant up, just boosting their attacks. It's just stupid. I love Dolka with Ophion, but more than I love Dolka with Lagia. But I don't run Dino Rabbit because I don't exactly like to run meta. Then for the rank 3s, we have Levia, the Sea Dragon. It's just for, you know, specialing your rabbit back, or specialing a banished Evilswarm with him. We have Zen mains. I don't ever usually go into Zen mains, but it's just for that instance of if you literally cannot do anything, Zen mains is there. Acid Golem, push for game, it works. Leviathan Dragon, I've never gone into him, but he's just there just in case you need him. I think, to be honest, with your XCs, you should always have something there just for pure situational needs. We've also got the Evilswarm Bahamut. I've been talking about this card a lot in this profile, so I think you guys know what it does. 2 level 4 Evilswarm monsters. Once per turn, attach a XYZ material from this card to target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls. Discard 1 Evilswarm monster, and if you do, take control of that opponent's monster. It's creature swap, but so much better, and I love it. It's so stupid, and it gets you game. I only have 1 because it is just a push for game, and it is stupid. We have a Giga Brilliant. Boost up your Ophion and your Dolka. Pfft, I'd like to see an opponent get past that. I've only had 1 person get past that, and to be honest, it was Busfair, and it was kind of stupid. We've also got 1 Ally of Justice Catasta. It's just for the play of, oh, I have a level 4 out, may as well normal summon the Veiler, go for it, and Stardust. I've had a couple of people say I should run BLS in the deck. Nah, I don't think BLS or DAD, like Dark Arm Dragon, I don't think any of those are essential for this deck. This deck has enough beat to it, and not to need that. And plus, Dark Arm Dragon can be a dead draw late game. I've had instances where I used to run it and it became a dead draw, same with BLS, because you don't run a lot of lights in this deck, and you don't really, you know, and it's like late game in an Evilswarm game, you know, you're bound to have more than like 3 darks in the grave, and it's stupid. So, anyway, that is my deck profile. I hope you guys have enjoyed this deck profile, and I hope it helps out for those who are thinking of making Evilswarms when they're released in England, or just in general, because I've been running these for a while, and I actually really enjoy them, and it's a really fun deck, and there are rumors that it could actually beat over Rabbit. I haven't beaten Dino Rabbit yet with this deck, but I've come very close. So I think it can do very well in the meta format. It could become meta. I know I've heard that it was tier 1 in Japan, things like that, so it's obviously doing something well. But anyway guys, I'm Barcode Pez. This is my first video from the computer, and I'm glad I've got this out now because I'm going to get more excuse me, I'm not exactly very well and I keep stuttering. Either way, please like, comment, and subscribe. I'm going to be doing tons and tons of videos of me dueling so you guys can see what I'm actually like. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Been a pleasure showing you this profile. and I hope you have an amazing day. Goodbye.